Most people don't realize this, but for most of American history, there was no rule limiting how long a president could serve. No term limits, no caps. Just tradition. And the only person to ever fully test that tradition was Franklin D. Roosevelt. FDR didn't serve 2 terms. He didn't serve 3. He served 4. Not full, but I'll explain that later. From 1933 to 1945. That's 12 years through the Great Depression and most of World War II. And the reason he could do that was simple. It wasn't illegal. Before Roosevelt, presidents followed George Washington's example and stepped down after 2 terms. Not because the Constitution required it, but because custom did. FDR broke the custom, and people let him, and that part matters. Because this wasn't a power grab. He was elected again, and again, and again. At a time when a country facing economic collapse and global war, voters chose continuity over tradition, stability over precedent. Now, here's the part that people usually miss. FDR died in office, and only after his death did Congress decide that this was a problem. That's when the country ratified the 22nd Amendment in 1951. That amendment limits the president to 2 terms, not because Roosevelt broke the law, but because he proved how much power continuity could concentrate. In other words, the rule exists because one man showed what was possible without it. And there's something else worth sitting with. For nearly 160 years of U.S. history, the presidency had no formal term limit. The safeguard wasn't law, it was just expectation, trust, if you will. And once that trust was tested, the Constitution changed. So when people talk about norms holding democracy together, this is what they mean. Norms work until they don't. And once they break, rules show up to clean up the mess. So when you hear 2 terms spoken like it's sacred, just remember, that's not how the presidency started. It's how it adapted. Because one president stayed long enough to make a country nervous. And then the Constitution adjusted accordingly.